What is up, everybody? Welcome back to JtR Podcast. I am your host, Stefan, and this is episode 5. Wow, I don't know why the 5 was that strong. I don't know I said that strong, actually. So, this is my second time recording this episode because the first time I started recording this episode, it was just... I got distracted. There was a bunch of noise going on. There were planes flying out. I had my window open and just everything. And then I actually got a call from my job to tell me my schedule this week. So, yeah, just a bunch of stuff happened. So I'm just re-recording this and starting all over from scratch. But you would have never known that, actually. If I didn't just say that, you would never have known. But I'm telling you anyway. So, yeah. Transparency. Okay, it's a beautiful thing. But, yes, this is my second, not just my second time recording this episode, this is the second episode I'm recording in the same day, too. I recorded episode 4 earlier. If you haven't listened to that, you can go back and listen to that. And then before I actually tell you what this episode's about, you're going to get, at the end of that episode, I'm going to tell you what this episode's going to be about. But, I'm pretty sure I said that, I'd start this episode today, or record this episode today, too. But, look at me. I'm rambling. I'm, out of breath right now. I think the second cup of coffee that I had is, kicking in. But, I keep on saying we're going to get into the meat and potatoes of this episode. But, the intro's not going to be as long as it usually is. Because I already talked about stuff that happened over the weekend today. Yeah. So, we're mainly going to get into this episode, right away. So, welcome back. If this is your first time listening to me, welcome to JtR Podcast. I'm your host, Stefan, which I said already. But, if this is your first time listening, this is very weird that you're starting on episode 5. But, based on what the topic's about, maybe this is your first introduction to me. I don't know about the YouTube algorithm that much. And yes, this is a podcast, even though I'm putting it up on YouTube. Until I get a couple episodes and I get to put it on an actual podcasting, hosting service website thing, majiggy. But yeah, the coffee is definitely kicking in right now. To preface this episode, welcome back. Nice to see you again. Well, you know what I mean. Not actually see. This is not like a web chat thing or what have you. I'm gonna get into the episode now. Yeah, to preface this episode, this is not a flex at all. Not trying to, show off or anything like that, or, what are the kids saying nowadays? I thought flex is what the kids are saying nowadays, but in general, not showing off or pretending to be somebody I'm not, really. I'm just talking about one of my passions and what my whole career switch is about, really. So, yeah, if you don't already know what it is about, this episode is about sneakers. Yeah. Me and my sneakers. If you do know me, you know that I love sneakers. I still think of it as a relatively new thing, because I wouldn't say I started collecting sneakers until 2011, and I really didn't have the funds to really dive into it and grow my collection until after I started my first office job, after college. If you don't already know, if you don't follow me on Instagram, which you should, at @rootink, I post that at the end of every video, so you should see it on your screen. If you don't, just do it one of my friends told me he does. He puts this on and then he goes cleans his apartment. But that's a good idea. That's what I do with podcasts, and that's what I do with just music in general. So if you don't know, @rootink, follow me on Instagram. Whenever I get a new pair of sneakers or anything like that, I post it to my story with the number on it. My grand total now, just sneakers, not including boots, dress shoes, or anything other than that, because that's the only other thing besides sneakers I have. Oh, well, I have one pair of flip-flops. That doesn't really count. But the grand total is, drumroll, I don't have a soundboard or anything, but just imagine the drum roll sound, is 119 pairs. I'll let that sink in for a minute, or rather 119 seconds, because that is a absurd, stupid, ludicrous, what is wrong with you type of number of shoes in general to have. I don't know anybody personally that has as many shoes as I have. There's a couple YouTubers I follow. Shout out Oats Teddy because he's one of the OG YouTubers that I followed. Also because he wears a size 13 shoe, and I wanted to know if Ultra Boosts, like I could fit in size 12.5, which my first pair of Ultra Boosts was a 12.5. That I'll talk about later. But yeah, shout out Oats Teddy. I know he has more shoes than I have. Seth Fowler is another guy I watch almost on a daily basis, but I think he shrunk his collection because I think he moved from like New York to Philly or something like that. But yeah, he shrunk his collection. He refreshes he gets like all the shoes, or he buys all the shoes, and then it's constantly rotating them. So yeah, that's the thing. But yeah, I have 119 pairs of shoes. Yeah, 3 of those pairs are actually duplicates, or have a second pair of that exact shoe. Yeah, so I guess you can say real number is 116. Yeah, only surprisingly enough, I only have 3 of the exact same shoe, and in one case it's not the exact because I have a size 12.5 and a size 13. But yeah, like the same exact model, I have only 3 pairs that are duplicates, which is kind of incredible. It's incredible that I have that many shoes or even duplicates at all. But I just really love those shoes, so I got duplicates of those. And out of the entire collection, 6 pairs are not Adidas shoes. And yeah, the rest, 114, are Adidas shoes. So, yeah. It's still ludicrous numbers. Yeah, I am insanely Adidas biased. That probably comes from people in high school loving like Nike and Jordans and stuff like that. And I wasn't into sneakers like at all in high school. As a kid in grade school and growing up, I was one of the many that got like 1 pair a year. And I didn't have like a high school job or anything. So like I got the 1 pair a year, and then that would be like your gym shoe for the next year. So yeah, got that. And kind of Nike. I did have 1 pair of Nike shoes earlier in my life. Like it was one of those shoes where like I got it, I could use it in gym class and just on a regular daily basis and beat to high heaven. Yeah, I got it from like DSW, like beginning of the school year. I was just like, oh, this is a black shoe, cool, and I think it was a high top or mid top or something like that. I don't even know what it was. It wasn't any like fancy Jordan. It wasn't like one of the like known Nike shoes. It was just a generic basketball sneaker. Yeah, I told my sister, she has a picture of it in her place. And I told her I'm gonna get little cutouts of like superstars or other Adidas shoes and like paste it over so nobody knows I had Nikes. But now you guys know. The 1 pair I did really like fight for to get from my parents for like the 1 sneaker of the year was a pair of Marc Ecko sneakers. Like I don't think they were a partnership with anybody, but it was a pair of Marc Ecko sneakers that had graffiti on the side, and it was just totally awesome. And like I love that pair of shoes. So that was one I like definitely was just like, I have to have these. Are awesome. We went to like the furthest mall possible to just find them because that was the only place that had them too. So yeah, the other Nike shoes, like I have 1 pair of Converses, and I have a pair of replica Back to the Future shoes, the Nike Air Mags. They don't have the check on it, and then they don't have Air Mag on the back. And I got it because I was the black Marty McFly for one Halloween, and I also wanted a pair of light up shoes. Like I'm a big kid. I wanted a pair of light up shoes. I thought they were cool. I still don't like Nike, but I didn't like that they were Nike. But when these came out, I could be Marty McFly and not have a Nike check on my shoe. So I loved it. But yeah, those are the 2 closest things to Nike that I have. If you didn't know, Converse is owned by Nike. But yeah, I have no Jordans. I don't hate Nike. Like I wish Nike never existed. No. Like I know people who like Nikes. Like I view them as like competition, and it's just like you respect your competition. Like it's like going to the Olympics. Like everybody has their preference, everybody has their team they're rooting for. Some people like more than one, but you don't wish them ill will. You just say, all right, I'm gonna step in my game and I'm gonna be better than you. So yeah, 3-strap life. yeah, before I make this like a 50-minute episode, like episode 3, if you haven't listened to that one, go listen to that one. Oh my gosh. Like, I could barely listen to it again because of how, like, deep and emotional that episode was. It was beautiful. But it was also just from the heart. Just, oh. Okay, no, yeah, I'm going to stop now. But, yeah, I have my second cup of coffee already, and I'm feeling it now. So, the big question is, why in the world do you have so many pairs of shoes? Like, that's ridiculous. Nobody, and I know this, like, as a collector, like, I love collecting them, because, like, I wear all my shoes. That's, like, the thing. Every single pair that I own, besides the 3 duplicates, I have worn. The ones that I wear least, I have a pair of all-white Stan Smiths. I wear them, I remember, twice. I have the pair of triple white Easy 350 V2s. Those I wore twice. I wore them literally out the house to my car, drive to my mom's house or my dad's house, and then, like, that was it. So I haven't really worn them, like, out, but those 2 shoes I wore twice. Only because they're white, so they'll get dirty very easily. And yes, I do clean my shoes. Like, I have to take, like, an afternoon to clean them. Like, I don't just clean one at a time. Like, I legit have, like, 15 pairs, not even 15, maybe like 5 pairs at a time, and I'll go clean them. Yeah, nobody needs this many shoes. I recognize I do have a problem. I have an issue. This is a first step. But yeah, nobody needs that many shoes, like, ever. And then in the case of that, people want to know, okay, what's your favorite model then? Like, what's the best shoe to wear? Like, you have so many shoes. Like, you obviously have to have, like, a favorite. And I do. And surprisingly enough, it's not anything hyped. It's not anything crazy. It's not like a super limited edition. It's not a Yeezy. It's actually the OG black in quotes. I'm doing air quotes, but of course this is a podcast. You can't see me doing air quotes. But the black Uncaged Ultra Boost. I remember I went to Vegas for one of my friend's birthdays, and we stayed, I think we stayed at the MGM. Yeah, because that's the one with the lions. Yeah, like the golden lions. That one. And then there was an Adidas store literally, like, right next to it. Like, you went at the back of it, and then it was right there. So, of course, I had to go. And I remember it was pair number 22, because I still have the Snap story, or Snapchat, whatever, like, of it. But yeah, I went over there, and this is when, like, they were just coming out. This is when everybody wanted an Uncaged Ultra Boost, and why I love it so much, it's like Adidas listened to the people, and when people were cutting off the cages of their Ultra Boost, Adidas was just like, hey, let's make an uncaged pair of Ultra Boost. And it wasn't just, oh, let's just make it without the cage. No, they made a whole new model. Like, yeah, it still had the Ultra Boost bottom, which is insanely comfortable. Like, if people ask me, like, what shoe do I get, I tell them, go get an Ultra Boost, because it's the most comfortable shoe you can possibly get from, like, Adidas. Arguably, the EQT 9317 is arguably more comfortable, but that's a whole nother story for a different time. But yeah, I went out and got this pair. It was between this one and the light gray one. If you actually look at the Uncaged, the OG black one, it's pretty gray. It's not that black. Yeah, it's just, like, it slips on. I still have, like, the way they came in the box, like, they're still like that. I didn't relace them or, like, tie them up or anything. But yeah, like, it was just so comfortable. Like, I put them on, and, like, of course I went to Vegas with, like, a pair of sneakers, but after that, they just stayed in the box, and that was it. I just wore that pair every time we weren't, like, going to, like, a fancy club or anything like that, or dinner. But every time we had to, we saw, we went sightseeing. There you go. But when we were going sightseeing, walking around, everything, throw on those pair, and it's insanely comfortable. And it's really easy to pack, too. Like, they just fold together, and they're pretty flat. So you don't have to worry about making a ton of space for them when you pack, which is another bonus. But yeah, my favorite pair, by far, OG Black Ultra Boost Uncaged. And it's just so comfortable. And surprisingly enough, I don't have a second pair of those. People are overcharging. People want $220 for it. Like, they're just doing that because there's no stock left. So, yeah, that would be my favorite pair, and that is my favorite pair. So, wow, I realize I'm already in, like, 16 minutes into it right now. So, that's just the beginning. I'm not going to walk through my entire collection or anything like that, but, you know what, this can be, like, a 25-minute episode, so I'll keep talking. So, what really got me into collecting, and why Adidas, I'll throw them both into the same, like, spiel thing, talking point, and now I'm just wasting time and rambling. Blame the coffee. But, yeah, so why collecting and why Adidas? Really, it's when I got my first job and I needed a pair of black shoes. Before we had to, like, it was a retail job and we had to wear, like, dress shoes and we had a dress shirt and everything. But then they changed the dress code and you got to wear just a black polo, jeans, and we needed black shoes. Of course, we were wearing black dress shoes, but I like pushing the boundaries a little bit. So I went and got a pair of black Superstar 2s. I actually wore them this weekend when I went out for my birthday. Yes, my birthday was this weekend. If you didn't know, that means you didn't listen to episode 4 of the podcast, or you didn't say happy birthday to me on Facebook, or whatever. So, yeah. But, yeah, first pair was the all-black Adidas Superstar 2s. I did get influenced because Daft Punk actually wore it when they would, like, perform and everything like that. And also, they were wearing it in the whole, like, Star Wars collaboration that they had back in the day. Which, regrettably, I didn't get any pairs of those. But I was also a youngin' in college. It was, like, my freshman year of college. And I was broke. So, I didn't really make it a priority to spend money on sneakers back then. Yeah, got that pair because Daft Punk, Star Wars, and it wasn't Nike. Really, that is an actual point to it. It wasn't Nike. But, yeah, got that. It was insanely comfortable. Wore it to the ground. Like, these, I should have thrown them out, but it's like history at this point. Yeah, they're beat. There's no padding left in the heel. There's, like, drag and scuff marks on the bottom. The inside part of the heel is, like, just all the paint is just worn off. Like, they're beat to high heaven. But I keep them around because memories, and I'm a little sentimental in that aspect. But yeah, so that's really why I chose Adidas. But then as time went on, like, I got more Superstars. Like, my first collection was, like, just Superstars. So I got the triple black ones, well, the all black ones as they were called back in the day. Then of course I had to get the OG colorway, the white ones with the black stripe. And so then I got a pair of exclusive, like, Champs edition. They have, like, a blue gradient on them. They were really cool. And then I got a pair of white and gray ones that were a size 12. And I wear a size 13, by the way. They were size 12. They, like, just fit, but, like, they're not really wide enough, and they're, like, squeezing my toes, but it was on sale, so, like, I wanted to get another pair in gray to, like, match my outfit, so I did, which I don't really regret it because I needed that pair of shoes, but I still have it. And then I got a couple other models. I really, really started, like, collecting and, like, looking forward to sneakers when the tubular line came out. I got I can't remember which version of the tubular. They were, like, the high top tubulars. They were black with the white bottoms. I thought they were super cool. They came out when the Yeezys were starting to come out, and of course I wasn't a huge sneakerhead back then. I didn't think about it, and then I got that model because I couldn't get the original 750s. And then one of my favorite pairs, I got the Varus Mids. Oh my gosh. And they have, like, a memory foam insole. One of the most comfortable pair of shoes I own by far. And, like, more than half of my collection has Boost in it. And they're still, like, also going to a club in Ultra Boost isn't that fun. They're not really a dancing shoe. Where the Varus Mid, you can dance in it. But it's insanely comfortable. And you don't really see it anymore. But I got those. And yeah, since I'm 20 minutes into the episode, I'm going to make this into a 2-part series. Or maybe 3, maybe 4, who knows. Yeah, I'm going to make this into, like, a series because there's a whole lot I can get into or talk about when I'm talking about sneakers. Yeah, so that's really the start of my collection thing. So I think this is like a thing. I started with my whole like musical journey about like listening to music and then getting into like working on music and then where I am now. And then I finished that, so now I'm going to talk about sneakers, which is like my main passion right now. Well, that and like just fashion in general. And then it's going to be the second series I have in 5 episodes, which is hilarious. I have 2 series that, well, one of them's done, but I'm working on a second series and I'm only 5 episodes in. So, yeah, it's hilarious. So we're going to stop there. So that's when I first started my collection. And then, yeah, for part 2, we're going to talk about me, like, restarting my love for sneakers. Because after the Varus Mids, I'm pronouncing it. It's Latin, so it's really hard to pronounce. And technically nobody knows what Latin sounds like anymore because nobody talks in Latin. There's no speech coach for Latin. They're just like, it may sound like this. But, yeah, that's me rambling again. But yeah, next time we're going to talk about my resurgence atmosphere, just me getting back into sneakers, and then, like, what I did, and how I really grew my collection, and how I went from, when I originally stopped, it was like 12 pairs, and then now, well, now you know how many pairs I have, so yeah, save that for part 2. So yeah, thanks for listening, guys. I'll see you for episode 6. Of the JtR Podcast for me and my sneakers part 2, and then maybe part 3, because I can talk about sneakers all day. But yeah, have a good one, guys. Love, peace, and everything. I'm gonna take my over sugarized and caffeinated self and go make dinner. I'm cooking salmon today, and I'm probably gonna have it with like salad instead of like carbs, like spaghetti or pasta or something, or rice. Yeah, I'm going to go cook salmon and have salmon salad. So, peace. Good day, good night, good evening. I will see you guys next time.